Gate 14 podcast, and the boys are back in town. The Mush boys, the Mexico boys are all the way back. We'll start with Mr. Chenier drinking wine out of the bottle. One of the most absurd pictures I've ever seen, looking like fucking DJ Khaled. What's up, Abe? How we doing, man? How we feeling?
I've heard needing a vacation after vacation, and that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Wow, poor you, man.
Pretty tired.
Well, you already have a vacation after a vacation, though. You're
Yes.
going to Miami this week.
Yeah, I'm going to Miami on Wednesday night. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I'm going to see my younger brother who I haven't seen at school. That's why I'm going there.
Yeah,
so
must be nice.
Crazy, but awesome trip. We got to see the Kikuchi. I was fucked up when I tweeted that I was watching Kikuchi cook and he sucked apparently. So I just saw him on the TV and I tweeted. So that was kind of awesome to see. The Leafs have struggled sadly, but I'm happy to be back in the city, back in my own bed, back with some more food and make my stomach feel a little bit better. But what a trip.
I don't know how you guys did it. Like my body, I went out on Friday night and my body is just I can't do it. I don't know what it is, man. The old Johnny used to go out 3-4 times a week and get after it. Maybe I just partied it up and just ruined my body. But JR, a lot of people are calling you the biggest bag fumbler in the history of podcasts. How are you doing, brother?
I'm doing well, man. I'm trying to recover today. I think I woke up at like noon.
Oh, that would have been awesome.
Which was
how long did you wait at the airport after I left?
Probably like 40 minutes.
40 minutes?
Yeah, it got stuck. It was broken.
John, you have to hear this story before we go. So my bag comes off the carousel first.
Yeah.
And then within 5 minutes, it's just broken. And I was gonna wait for them to go home.
No, you don't wait. You don't know it.
Yeah, I was just like, took the Uber.
Busted.
I was home in bed, but by the time you guys left the airport, that's fucked.
That is crazy.
Good Mexico story.
Yeah, so let's go into this. You fumbled the bag, and I tweeted the picture of the female, but credit to me for respecting women. I cropped her out. I didn't want her picture online, obviously. It's a crazy world out there with our following. Wanted her to be protected. She's a mother, I believe I had that correct. So credit to you for that. And she is an absolute rocket ship. So I want to go into how the fuck did you fumble that? Because if it was me, if that ass is never mind. JR, how did you fumble this bag, man?
It was just there was some questionable things on the line. One was that she was a staff member, but at the resort, but
yeah, she came up to him too was just all time.
Yeah, it was just like, yeah, she just came up to me and made some comments, very nice comments to me, and said I don't know, I guess I look like Canelo. That's been like a thing because like, I don't know, last time I went to Dominican, I got called Canelo like 3 times, and then I come here and Spanish ladies, they love Canelo. So I guess I kind of look like Canelo, and Canelo has that kind of strawberry orange beard and pale skin. And she comes up to me and she goes, yeah, I really like your skin. And I was like,
that's a great compliment.
It's a great compliment. But I said right away, I was like, I've never heard that in my life. No one has ever told me that literally in my life. And she just kind of chuckled. And I was like, I'm not joking. Like, I've never heard that.
It's a great compliment.
But yeah, sure. I probably fumbled the bag. I mean, a lot of people were saying that on the trip. So, I mean, what are you going to do now?
He won the least valuable player on the trip.
Yeah, won the least valuable player.
That's a bad trophy to win. But by the way, if you're listening to this podcast, you don't want to hear Mexico talk. 1, you're just not a real Gate 14 rider. 2, I might hate you. But how
the Gate 14 listeners in Mexico, shout out to them. I took a picture with one of the guys.
One of them, yeah, I got a DM from one of them on my personal account saying like, I just made a Twitter account right now to DM this to you. And his name's Burner0824. And it's just a picture of you two.
Who, me and him?
Wait.
Yeah.
Let's see it. Yeah, oh yeah.
And he is like a grown-ass man. So for listening to this, thank you, brother.
Yeah.
He was pumping my tires.
So get this. So usually when we go to games or anyone, they'll recognize Ave and Johnny. Usually not many people will mention me in the wild. Let's just be honest here. Because I look like your average dude, and I'm the third mic. So I am ordering a drink, and he's like, Gate 14, you're JR. And I was like, no way. In all places, but in Cabo, this guy recognizes me. But yeah, that was the guy. And he said shout out to him because he said his brother introduced him to Gate 14, and he's been a fan ever since. So, I mean, it was crazy seeing, 2 fans. We were seeing them all week. So
you love to see that, man. You really do. But on a scale, so Avery, I'll start with you because it takes a lot of beers for you to get fucked up.
Yeah.
How mangled were you this week? Because I just can't imagine the heat, the sleep schedule, the time change. Like, it must have hit you hard the first couple of days.
Yeah, I went a lot of tequila shots night one, kind of like put me out of it the second day. Struggled, but it's like we would wake up, drink at the pool, and then like get super fucked up and then go to sleep and then go out at night. So it was nice to like mix it up a little bit. We went on a boat cruise though, thanks to Coach Chris Roach put on a drinking performance.
Yeah, he called me a couple times. Yeah.
He was the drunkest person in the country the whole time. Maybe I need a mic on Chris Roach nonstop. He's a funny bastard.
Shut the fuck up, Jer. Shut the fuck up, Jer. Yeah. Yeah, he's the best.
Those two,
yeah, so let's
I think we went on the boat cruise. I had like 15 Coors Lights on a 2-hour boat cruise, and that did me in pretty good.
I'm out on the ocean. I couldn't be more out on the ocean. Funny story. I went to the Dominican Republic when I was a kid, and we went deep sea fishing. I made it 5 minutes, passed out, thought I was going to die in the bathroom. We went to the captain. My mom was like, we have to take this kid back. Like, he's dying in the bathroom. And he's like, the only way I'm going back is if people on this boat cruise say that they are fine with going back. The American fucks on the boat said, no, we paid to be out here. The only way we're going back is if you pay us to go back and like reimburse this. So I was just dead naked on this Dominican thing in the bathroom when I was like 9, and my mom had to pay for everyone to go back. So it was a massive soak. But so what,
Johnny?
So
Deep
what's the Mount Rushmore? Like, what's the Mona Lisa story from this week, JR? What was the funniest thing that happened this week?
So, fuck. This isn't even funny, but it's a funny story. So we had a guy.
Oh, this is a good story.
I don't know which.
I think the J-Man one.
Yeah. So we had a guy, and he went back to the hotel room. We were drinking at the front, and he comes back and he goes, "I got hit in the head. Like, I think I have like almost like a concussion. Like, he had a goose egg on his head. Like, what happened?" And he's like, "I got hit by a cart." And some guys thought it was funny to, I guess, like hit people with objects from the second floor.
What the fuck?
So when he walked out, like, he just got hit by a maid's cart in the head.
He dropped a maid's cart from a second floor on his head.
What the fuck?
So,
and no one else was there.
No one else was there. And everyone was sort of feeling his head.
You dropped a maid's cart?
Yeah.
Like one of those big ass maid's carts. We come back, the wheels are everywhere. It is just a yard.
It looked
sale.
like a crime scene.
And drunk Jer pulled an all-time move when he went up to the front desk to
So we had a game plan. We had a game. So they were all gone and we were drinking. We're like, let's get them a free trip. So I am potentially, I'm like 10 out of 10 at this point, right? That night, it was my worst night, but I have my own game plan in mind when I'm going up to the front. And these people are like, "Hey, you got hit in the head." We're watching the footage, right? And they don't have footage of when it goes outside, which would have been awesome footage to play in this podcast. I apologize that we don't have it. And then in my head, I was like, I'm gonna come in as the big dog, and kind of set the tone here, right? I just come in right field, and I'm like, "Look, management has been fucking dog shit all week and blah, blah, blah." It's like, I just dropped like 4 F-bombs, and then everyone pretty much just told me like, that was way too far. That was absolutely just way too far. And I just like, oh, sorry. But yeah, they didn't even get like the report was sent and nothing was really done about it, which is crazy. But
There's also an NHL player that Jared jersey swapped with.
Quentin Byfield.
Yeah, so for those of you that are NHL fans, so probably most of our listeners like the NHL, but yeah, Quentin Byfield and a couple Kings players were at the resort, and we didn't do a jersey swap. Just gives off the wrong impression. Technically, I stole a shirt in a sense. Technically, I stole a shirt. Okay, I'm gonna admit it. It wasn't a jersey swap. That means that he committed to the jersey swap. No, he just put a shirt on the back of my chair and said, "Pretty much, can you hold this?" And then he left. So what am I supposed to do? Put it in the locker?
Well, that's not stolen. That's
it was a Twisted Tea button-up shirt.
I had no idea that there was a time change. That is absolutely absurd. But
because it's right under California.
Yeah,
right?
it's right.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I think if you go to Cancun, maybe.
No, Cancun is less. I actually don't even know what Cancun is. I just said it was less. Like
I know it's on the other side of the country from where we were.
Yeah, that's just absurd. I actually had a. Speaking of fumbling the bag, I had the one that got away story from Friday night. Man.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I was I was at this bar in Hamilton. It's called Odds Bar. So shout out, no free ads. It's owned by the Arkells, and I was there with my buddies, and there was this girl in the booth behind me to the left. Like she kept staring at me, and I just kept like every once in a while would stare at her, and like we would just continue to like cross paths with I could be delusional. Maybe I was fucked up because I was drunk tweeting, but 100% I think she wanted me to go talk to her, and I just refused to. She just kept looking at me, and she was like, she's the one that got away. So if anyone knows short black haired looking pretty woman that was at Odds Bar on Friday, please make it happen. Or Jackie Redmond, one or the other. I'll take both. Yeah, so that's what happened there. But no, I'm happy you guys got back safe, man. I mean, that's a week is just I don't know how you guys.
It was a
flew
lot.
By.
Yeah, it does fly by. But yeah,
I wish there was some golf involved. That would have made the trip 10 out of 10.
Johnny, there's next year the plan is you
can't do it on my birthday week.
Well, you're coming next year. So the plan is every year we do it and we up the number. So one year it's just like we just have 150 people going to this thing.
That is crazy.
So
gate 14 trip?
Imagine that. We open, like, it gets so big that we open it up to a listener to have the opportunity to come with us. Just like you come on the trip, you hang out with the gate 14 boys.
Bring your family.
Yeah, that would be electric. That would be absolutely electric. But
maybe we could open a resort in like Dunedin for spring training to do that.
That would be cool.
Yeah,
a little collab. We open up an Airbnb right in Dunedin,
a massive mansion. But going into the week, I mean, are you guys going to take credit for mushing the Toronto? I mean, you guys leave on Sunday. The Jays blow a 4-run lead after scoring 8 unanswered. Monday they get dog walked. Tuesday dog walk. Wednesday dog walk. Thursday dog walked. Are we going to at least take a little bit of accountability here? I mean, the Leafs haven't won a game since Avery left, and Avery's a big Leaf guy. So,
I mean, listen to this Leaf story. After game 2, I went and bought game 6 tickets. And because I'm in Miami, or Sunrise, wherever the stadium is close.
Yeah.
Bought game 6 tickets. They were like $150 a piece for a playoff game. I was like, oh, that's not even bad at all.
Yeah.
Now they're not even going to make it fucking 5 games.
Yeah, they're dead. So I hope Leafs Nation listen to this.
But again, on the mush, that's bullshit, man. The team,
the numbers speak.
No. I'm saying their play. They were also on vacation. That was like their little break in the middle of.
Well, they won their World Series. They won the Stanley Cup when they won that series. I mean,
I'm talking about the Blue Jays now. I'm talking about the Blue Jays.
Oh no.
I said they took a little vacation, 4-game vacation in Boston. The weather wasn't great. They couldn't do much, but they decided to take those games off.
The world was falling after that series, and I was trying to calm Blue Jays Nation down. I wasn't getting – it was a nightmare. Let me be clear here. It was a fucking nightmare. But
in the graphic he posted too, it was just like, no shit, that the win streak, what the team ERA was, the losing streak. It's like, yeah, you usually lose if you give up more runs.
But what I was saying was like the point.
I'm not chirping you. I'm just saying the graphic was.
No, the graphic for sure. But the point of, and for the people listening, they don't know what I'm talking about, I'll pull it up here. I tweeted a graphic that Sportsnet did. So when the Jays had a 6-game win streak, the pitching had a 0.82 ERA. 5-game losing streak, 7.71. The Pirates series, 0.78. That's the most Toronto Blue Jays thing ever, because there is no such thing as in between with the Toronto Blue Jays. It's either rat piss or it's the best pitching staff that's ever touched the mound in like the history of baseball. That's the frustrating part. I mean, sub 1 over a 7.75, sub 1. It doesn't make sense, and there's no other team on the planet, and that's why we love the Toronto Blue Jays, because the highs are incredible and the lows are absolutely I want to die nightmare fuel. That's the Toronto Blue Jays difference, Avery. That's what it is.
100%. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy that I didn't get to watch that Red Sox series. What is that? Like, I guess you talked about it with Kev. I'm going to go back and listen to that episode. I love Kevin, but
he's so funny.
I used to watch his YouTube videos. Like I wouldn't watch anyone else like I watch Kevin's videos. So he was so bad playing the game, but he was just so funny. Like, oh fuck, he would try and go 12-0 all the time and just couldn't do it. He couldn't do it ever, and then finally it happened. But thanks to Kev for coming on. But what do you think went wrong? Like the Red Sox, just like every decision seemed to go poorly.
Yeah, that was Toronto Blue Jays series. That was baseball, man. And the Red Sox are actually, I'll say, I think they're kind of good, man. I don't know what it is.
It's like a chalk it up to the game type thing.
Yeah, just pour one out for my dead homies. That's what that was. I'm actually under the illusion, and one of our listeners, I'll give him a shout out here once I see this. The Red Sox at home is the most absurd stats I've ever seen in my life. And someone brought it up. They might be cheating, man. Is that crazy to say? They might be cheating, because these stats, let me pull it up here. The Red Sox on the road are hitting 236. At home, they're hitting 297. Those splits are ridiculous, right?
Yeah. How many games have they played of each?
So at home, they have. No, it's pretty similar. I don't see the number here. I know there's 7 home runs off from home to the road, but that's fucking ridiculous. That's not normal, right? And then shout out.
I mean, when I saw Connor Wong hitting home runs,
shout out Flash Canadian. So just so that people know, like, the splits for other teams. So Red Sox 297 at home, 236 on the road. Blue Jays 262 at home, 261 on the road. Pretty similar. Mm-hmm. Orioles 261 average at home, 252 away. Pretty similar. The Yankees 220 at home, 240 away, and the Rays 262 at home, 297 away. So like the Red Sox is just the most insane difference in home and away. We got to start posing some questions, man. That's all I'm saying. Definitely got to start posing some questions.
I guess, yeah, pitching had to have been horrible that week too. And then everything, you go to Pittsburgh and everything's just back to normal. The Pittsburgh Pirates are rat shit.
They suck. They're the most make-believe 20-8 team I've ever seen in my life.
They threw them around.
They were 20-8 at one point. They were 20-8, and then they lost 7 in a row to the AL East. They suck. I can't even look at that lineup and say, yeah, that guy's a good hitter, besides Brian Hayes and Brian Reynolds, maybe.
Jack Swinsky's got good numbers.
I guess, yeah, but like
Carlos Santana's been okay, but like G1 Bay at the bottom of that thing.
The Jays played bully ball. The Jays played bully ball this weekend. It wasn't even like the games were never even close. It was just an absolute dog walking every single game.
It feels like we've swept when we've needed to sweep, besides the Tiger series this season, right?
Yeah, no, yeah.
And we were kind of saying, hey,
and the Mariners.
Sure, but that was definitely
up
right.
8-4.
Yeah, for sure. You're right about that. But other than that, it feels like, hey, when it's time to do damage, it's time to bury teams. They've been okay at that this year.
I mean, let's go game by game here. On Friday, obviously, Chris Bassett, 7 scoreless, 4 hits, 5 punchies, 4 walks. He's the number 2. I think we've talked about this before. He is the number 2 pitcher on this team, and I don't even think it's remotely close. he is unhittable when he's locked in. He's throwing 69-mile-an-hour curveballs. The guy has more pitch arsenals. He could throw a different pitch every pitch for an at bat, and it wouldn't be this. He is absurd. And Chris Bassitt, would you say, because obviously the Varsho trade was really good and the Kiermaier signings are already worth it? Was this Chris Bassitt signing the most underrated signing, do you think, in like the MLB this year? Because it filled a void for the Toronto Blue Jays, obviously, where like they needed a starting pitcher, because you didn't want to just roll out Mitch White or Yusei Kikuchi ? He has been lights the fuck out. I think he has 5 quality starts.
Yeah, we just had that horrible one to start the season, right?
Yeah.
Other than that, I've been very happy with Chris Bassitt. I'll say it again. We have 2 of the more consistent pitchers, middle of the rotation guys in all of baseball. Jose Barrios, Chris Bassitt. Mm-hmm. Chris Bassitt's doing what we signed him to do. You can't be happier than what he's done right now, right? The first one, you can pretty much throw out whatever that happened. It was horrid. But now he is just pitching his fucking dick off. And you see all these numbers, just the different pitches he's throwing all the time. Sinker, sweeper, cutter, curveball, four-seam slider, changeup. Like, how the hell do you even know what to throw? And spin rates, everything was down like 65 RPMs. That's not even anything at all. So, man, good for him. Getting the whiffs, 20%, 9 of them.
I'll ask you this question, JR. Are you starting, if the Jays play in the wild card series, right? They lose game 1 with Gossman on the mound, hypothetically. Are you going Chris Bassitt game 2 over Manoah just based off of the consistency of how he's been so far? Is he your number 2?
Yeah, I'd say he's our number 2. I think.
Are we in a point where we're starting?
If you shuffled the deck, are we
starting Barrios over Manoah at this point in the season?
Oh wow,
Barrios has looked awesome. Besides that Red Sox one he had last week, he's been really, really good.
Yeah. Well, there was the talk of even in, obviously it didn't matter, but Stripling, right? Kind of Ross was thinking of going game 2. Remember, like that was a serious conversation when we were talking about that. Kind of reminds me, like Bassitt kind of just reminds me of a better
Ross Stripling.
Yeah, I think that's a perfect analogy.
So it's like they almost play the same role when it comes to playoffs. I see in the sense, because like obviously, like if you win game 1, I think it makes sense to play the safe card in the sense of like let's make it a game versus like I don't know, Manoah. I mean, fuck, man.
It's just a question mark.
It's a good thing to have, though.
The thing about Manoah is it's a question mark because he's shown time and time again in big games at home and big moments, he's just not been able to pitch well.
Yeah.
And Chris Bassitt, I mean, this guy, 5 quality starts out of 7 starts is fucking insane, dude. That is insane numbers. I think it's actually might be 8 starts now or 7. I don't know what it is. I know it's 5 quality starts, though. He's leading the team. Him and Gossman are leading the team. It's just such an underrated good signing that this team really, really needed. A guy that can go through an order tons of times. That was the problem with Ross Stripling, right? Ross Stripling would get taken out of games after going through the order twice.
Yeah.
Chris Bassitt can just continuously go through the order because he has a million pitches that guys haven't seen.
You're so right about that. You can change the way you throw to a guy if you're seeing him 3 times. If you have 9 pitches, like fuck, you could throw half of them out, half your at bats, and you're still seeing something new every single pitch almost. So him being able to do that keeps him in the game, and that's why he's been so consistent, why he makes so much money. Right.
And he's worth every goddamn dime. And one thing that I really liked about Bassitt is he's kind of taken the Kiermaier approach where he's really embracing playing here. I mean, after his start, he said, I'm glad I made the right decision. Like, I'm glad, because I'm sure he had offers from bigger offers other areas, other teams, stuff like that.
Gone back to where he was at, probably.
Yeah, he could have gone back to the Mets, I think, for a little bit more. And he said, I'm glad I made the right decision coming here. And you're goddamn right he did, because this defense behind him, this outfield defense is absurd. And Avery, I don't know if you can pull this up, but I'm almost positive the outfield defense for the Toronto Blue Jays is leading the league in defensive WAR, or I don't remember or DRS maybe. I think it might be. I don't know what stat it is, but man, this is just, that game on Friday was just a masterclass from the bullpen and Chris Bassitt. I mean, he goes 7 scoreless. And then next thing you know, you got Swanson just absolutely body bagged the Pirates. And then you go Romano back-to-back 0-0. So that was the Toronto Blue Jays masterclass, and that's the team that I expect a little bit more of. So I was excited for that. But let's go into Saturday. I know we talked about Jose Barrios. Man, I mean, he was perfect through 4 or 5, I think it was. I think he was perfect through 5. Goes 6 innings, 7 punchies, 1 walk, 5 hits, 2 earned runs. Fuck. I know we keep just beating a dead horse. When he is on, Avery, this guy he's ridiculous. He's ridiculous.
So you think he pitched really well? Yeah, that's good. We're just happy to see after how bad. Did he have a bad Red Sox start too?
Yeah, I had a really bad Red Sox start.
Yeah, everyone must have had a really bad Red Sox start. The whiffs weren't there crazy. Zone contact was actually okay. It was the sinker that's zone contact percentage was only 60%, which is good. So
is he throwing the sinker more now? Is that what he's been mixing a little bit more? Is that like
21% fastball, 33%? I'm gonna look up his.
So we minimized the 4-seam there.
Yep. Yeah, a little bit. But I mean, confidence is a thing with him where it started from game 1 last season. Shit in the bed opening day. It's like you're starting from behind, kind of how Chris Bassett was to start this season as well. So Jose Barrios, he's obviously not in the same Kikuchi boat where you just want him to be confident. That changes everything because he was middle of the zone with good stuff, and Kikuchi just couldn't get in the strike zone. But Barrios is hell of an arm, man, and it's nice to see this stuff finally work out.
And we got to talk about one guy that just absolutely turned it on. And when he's hitting. And I think I mentioned this last podcast. Whoever the hitting coach is, Toronto Blue Jays, that tried to take away his leg kick is the dumbest idiot of all time. He goes back to the leg kick, Dalton Varsho. And since he went back to the leg kick, he's 11 for 28, hitting .393 with 3 nukes and 9 RBIs with an .821 slugging percentage, going back to his leg kick from last year. Man, he's been good.
When his dad's fault too, right?
Yeah. Like I don't know why they just try to mess with the guy like that. It just he clearly had success. I mean, obviously the average wasn't there last year, but the home runs were there, the power was there, and that's what you need him to be, a power hitting outfielder that's really good defensively. So
that's why he was slotted in the 4-hole, was to drive people in at that time.
And God, he's raking. God,
he hit that baseball yesterday so hard. I turned the game on at the airport, and I was like, just saw it right away into the river. That's awesome. And I mean, I'm looking at the box score from Friday. He had 4 hard hit balls, only 2 hits. It's like that's over 95 miles an hour. So
he's really starting to figure it out. And this lineup with him figuring it out is scary.
He hits really cool home runs too.
Yeah, I don't know if it's his swing or just the fact that he's a lefty, but it's just like it's just to throw this pitch up, and I'm going to send this into the Allegheny, and that's what he does. It's awesome to watch, man. And another guy we got to.
Kirky's been a little hot too, eh?
Yeah, Kirky's been heating up a little bit too, and another guy that's been heating up. We got to figure it out. Let's go, Brandon. Let's go, Brandon. I mean, this guy. Let me pull up his last couple games here. Brandon Belt is all the way back, and if this guy is hitting
so close
to having to buy a jersey. Yeah, that'd have been bad. I mean, Brandon Belt, here we go. Let's go, Brandon. Brandon Belt, his last 15 games, he's hitting .313 with a 400 OBP and a .500 slugging percentage with 1 home run and 7 RBIs in 15 games. Let's go, Brandon.
That's why he was signed.
He's all the way back.
Why did he get tossed?
Because apparently what he said to the ump was, I think he said something along the lines of like, that's just not a strike or something like that. And the ump just had no leash for let's go, Brandon, and just tossed him. There's actually a picture out there of him from Sunday with his meat just hanging. It's a crazy picture. You see that picture, Avery?
Yeah, I saw his cock.
Yeah, it was a crazy picture that was circulating the internet. Whoever took that should be locked up. That's bad. I didn't realize the guy was debuted in 2011. Holy shit.
He is old, man.
He has a higher OPS than George Springer. Are we going to start a narrative? He is
hitter.
Brandon Kyle Belt, man. BKB. What's his nickname? Bob. That's not his nickname, right? I thought he was the captain.
He is the
Bob.
captain.
Cheddar Bob. We're going to start calling him Cheddar Bob. Got to tip your cap, man.
Let's go, Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon is just all the way back. It's awesome to see. And Saturday, I think that was the game where he raked as well. Yeah, a little 2 for 3. Is that good? 2 for 3 with 2 walks. There we go, Brandon. And I mean, yeah, you also talked about a guy that's all the way back is a guy by the name of Alejandro Kirk. That guy is a walking machine. It's actually insane. I think I saw a tweet about it that he has like one of the highest walk rates in the league, which is kind of crazy. He's hitting he's hitting oh no, I mean he's hitting 238 in his last 7 games. Never
I
mind.
can look up that walk rate pretty easily.
I don't know if his walk rate's that high, but he is so good.
Yeah, it's 7th best in all of baseball for people with more than 80 plate appearances.
Yeah.
Only people above him: Lamont Wade, Juan Soto, Max Muncy, Ryan Noda, Gunnar Henderson, Lars Nootbaar.
Yeah, that's just absurd. But it's when this team's firing on all cylinders and just beating up on a poverty team, it's just incredible to see. Another guy who looked really good on Saturday is Tim Mayza, man. Holy shit. Is he elite, Avery? I think we have to start at least starting the narrative a little bit. He's really fucking good, man. I saw Blue Jays Muse on Twitter. Great follow, by the way. He put out some stats. I mean, Tim Mayza has a .79 ERA this year, boys.
You can't ask for much more than that.
The bullpen haters are in shambles because Tim Mayza is kind of replacing what Anthony Bass was last year. They're throwing him a little bit more high leverage. And I mean, on Saturday, he went 1 inning, 3 punchies. Just absolutely back pocket of the Pittsburgh Pirates. So it's definitely, that narrative definitely has to kind of start going into fruition. I mean, he's good, man. There's just no other thing to say. He's a good left-handed option out of the bullpen. And this team needed that. And I know we've had our problems with Tim Mayza. We've roasted him, even though he's probably been good for a majority of the time we've been roasting him. But this year, it feels different with Tim Mayza. He's so good, dude. So good.
You know, I've seen some Jimmy Garcia slander, which I think is unwarranted.
He has a 5.63 though.
Sure, but striking out more people than he did last year. Like home run to fly ball ratio is super high. Should come down at some point for Jimmy. And the fastball metrics are still really good. He's also throwing a weird cutter. I don't know what the fuck Pete.
Well, yeah, I don't know what that is either. That's what our guy Griff was saying on Twitter.
Cut that shit out, Pete. Don't do that anymore.
I don't know why he's doing that.
But Jimmy's going to be okay. He can be out of people's circles of trust. I saw someone tweet that today. But I think he'll be back. He'll be back in pretty soon. I think we can trust Jimmy. Do we want to go through? I got a nice little weighted runs created plus for the Jays so far this season. So I'll just go player by player so we can know where we stand with some of these guys. So we got Matt Chapman first, 187. Vladdy,
Jesus Christ,
156. Bo, 149. Then we go Kirk, 123. Kevin Kiermaier, 118. Whit Merrifield, 109. Dalton Varsho, 104. Brandon Belt, 91. Jano, 65. George Springer, 63.
Jesus Christ.
41. And Kevin Biggio, 27. So there we go. Probably surprised a little bit about where Kevin Kiermaier is on this one. And then obviously disappointed with George Springer's start to the season. But other than that, that's for anyone who doesn't know, 100 is league average in creating.
So that means that Matt Chapman is 87% above league average.
Yep.
That is.
Aaron Judge was at like 200 last year for a bunch of the season.
Yeah.
He was something else. But Matt Chapman's also been incredible. What do you think of the talks? I saw that thing come out that they're open to an extension. It's like, no shit, he's open to an extension if you're going to pay him what he thinks he deserves to be
I'm
paid.
so tired of that. Like, it's just Matt Chapman is open to an extension. You think? You fucking think the guy's open to extension? I mean, he wants to get paid.
Yeah,
what do you mean?
It literally doesn't matter where he is. I'm sure he loves Toronto right now. But if you're going to pay him the money, he'll go anywhere at this point.
Play for the Shanghai Sharks if he gets a shit ton of money, man. It's such a weird thing to just like a random quote to come out with. Yeah, like what? And by the way, whoever asked that question, I hope it wasn't Keegan. What are you doing? Like, what do you think the guy's going to say? No, I don't want to come back here. What is he going to say? Of course he's going to say I'm open to a fucking extension. You guys going to say
in the middle of the season too?
In the middle of the season, you think he's going to be like, nah, man, I really just don't want to come here. I don't want to be back here. Like, what a dumb question. That's why the Gate 14 boys are different. I never asked that shit. But we got to also give shout out to Jay Jackson, man. Gets called up, pitches Saturday, 1 scoreless. It's cool to see stories like that, man. A guy like that. And by the way, a little tidbit about Jay Jackson, he was offered big league deals when the Jays released him after spring training. He said, no, I want to stay here, and sucked it up and stayed in the minor leagues just so he could stay with the Blue Jays. He turned down MLB offers.
Why would he do that?
Yeah, why would he do that?
I don't ask how.
I thought there was going to be like this is the last place someone who's not from Canada that's going to stay to be with the team. That's surprising.
Yeah, no, it was. When I heard that, I was like, "What are you doing, dude? Like, you don't want to play in the major leagues?" But no, it's kind of cool hearing stories like that, especially a guy that's been grinding like that. So, it is all time. So credit to Jay Jackson for making that debut. That is awesome. And let's go into Sunday's game. I just want to give myself a pat on the back for not getting in the mud with people that will just screenshot the strike zone and just say Kikuchi is going to regress and don't want to enjoy it. Hand up. Credit to Johnny for not getting in the mud with those people and just letting them go and just be free. Just go be free, you little stat nerds. Go be free. Go run off into the sunset. I'm just going to enjoy Yusei's masterclass. And a masterclass it was. I said on stream, he didn't have his best stuff. He kind of looked like shit, if we're going to be completely honest with you, in the first couple innings. Figured it out. Went 6 1/3, 4 hits, 3 strikeouts, no earned runs, 2 walks. What more could you ask from your fifth starter? I just don't know why people still find a way to complain about this guy. He is in 5 of his 7 starts this year. He's given up 1 run or less. In 5 of his last 7 starts this year, 1 run or less from your fifth starter, and we still have people complaining. I don't get it. He is the 5th starter, and he has a 3.35 ERA, man. I don't know what more you want from this guy. His walk rate's down. Is he out of the zone a little bit? Sure, but he's effectively wild. It's just it's awesome to watch. It's cool to watch because we saw last year how much this fucking guy cares.
So I was thinking to myself in the car today, driving to work, we shouldn't think of Yusei Kikuchi looking at how he pitches like we evaluate other talent in the league. We know what Yusei Kikuchi is. He's 32 years old. He's not going to change. He's not going to miraculously become a number 1 or number 2 guy. He's our 5th starter. For him, I want to look at personally how many runs he's going to give up and how deep he's going to go into games. It's like for other people, Alek Manoah, swinging strike rate, whiff rate, we'll look at that stuff for sure. And that's how you can evaluate him. But I think for Kikuchi, we just got to dumb it down for how we evaluate how he's going to do. Yes, he's probably making too much money for me to say that. 12 million a year. He's our 5th guy. We want him to not make the bullpen go and give the team a chance to win. That's literally all we're asking from Yusei Kikuchi, and he's done that all year. Obviously, he's going to probably have a shitty start where he walks a bunch of people because he's out of the zone so often, but I'm not rooting for that. I don't want to see him regress.
And that's what I think people are doing. They're rooting for him to kind of say, I got you on that.
Well, and it's going to happen too. It's like, I told you that's not going to, no shit. He's going to have a bad start here and there.
Why can't we just enjoy what he's doing now? I guess that's where I'm at with that. I don't know.
Not taxing the bullpen is the best thing that can happen in this 5 slot in the rotation. Either if it's him or Mitch White. I love Yusei Kikuchi. He seems like an awesome guy, and I'm very happy for him that it's working out for him right now. But I don't think it matters who's in that position. It's your 5 guy can't make your bullpen throw a ton of innings every time he's out, and that's what he's done all season. And it's 100%. Perfect.
100%. And he looks, I don't know what more you can ask from the guy. It just he's getting deep into baseball games. He's 5-0. I know wins and loss record doesn't matter with pitchers, but he's giving a team a chance to win every single time he's pitched, or 5 out of his last 7 chances he's pitched. So yeah, he looked awesome. And another thing we got to talk about, I don't know if you guys saw this, but Blue Jays dad tweeted that he wants Cavan Biggio to be the everyday DH, which is, I don't know where I'm at with Blue Jays dad, because now I think he's just like a generational troll, like one of the best trolls to ever do it, because he gets crazy ratioed on every single tweet that he fucking makes. It's kind of impressive.
Do you think he knows what he's doing?
I think he knows he's in the numbers business.
I think to get super followers.
Which, by the way, if you pay to be a super follower for Blue Jays dad, like, seek help. Seek fucking help. Yeah, it's wild. But
What was his reasoning behind wanting Kevin Biggio to DH?
because I'll search it.
That's
Uh,
that's a ridiculous take.
I'll read the exact tweet. It's something that's the most miraculous thing ever. So here we go. Giving DH at bats versus right-handed pitchers to Kevin Biggio is better than giving them to Brandon Belt. If you disagree with this, there's nothing more I can do to help you. Obviously, we'd all love to see Alejandro Kirk DH when he's not catching, but it seems like management's trying to limit his playing time. After this, Brandon Belt proceeded to go to hit just a million doubles and just carry the Blue Jays. It's like, I don't like, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, that tweet is so dumb and so stupid and so bad that it might be like, it might be, I think he's just trolling. Right?
I don't know. That is a masterclass of content. Like, you can't teach that. There was actually no reasoning behind that. That was just a thought.
He pretty much was just saying Brandon Belt's ass, and I want to see Kevin Biggio, which is insane to me.
Brandon Belt has an OBP of 313. Kevin Biggio has an OBP of 200.
Nightmare. Absolutely a fucking nightmare. That's just a crazy take. An absolutely crazy take. But yeah, no, it's just insane to me. And I also want to, this is completely off topic, but I want to give a thank you to everyone pumping my tires on the Jackie Redmond tweet. It's just a shit ton. She's the best to ever do it, man.
Where are you watching Jackie Redmond content?
I was at the gym and Sportsnet was on TV and she was on, and I was just thought I'd just throw a tweet her way. Sup at Jackie Redmond. So yeah, we'll see what happens there with that pending VAR. Pending VAR. Let's go into this week, man. Obviously, we don't have that much to talk about because we'll be talking to you guys again in like 2 days because the Jays play against the Braves this weekend, which are going to be awesome. Jays Phillies. Me and Avery are at a crossroads. I'm obviously, Bryson's one of my best friends. Bryson's going to be obviously in the lineup tomorrow, and Kyle Schwarber's a guy I'm getting close with. Me and Avery got close with this offseason. I think on stream tomorrow, I don't know if you're going to be on stream, Avery. I think I'm just going to have to root for Bryson and Kyle when they come out. I just have to root against Manoah. I think that's where I'm at with that.
Well, Manoah gasses up. Actually, Manoah gave us some juice too. We're Bryson and Kyle guys.
I was actually meaning to ask you, Avery. I'm gonna go visit Bryson for a weekend. No, you're not gonna be able to make that. But yeah, I'm going to visit Bryson next Friday. Visit Schwarbs and Bryson. So that's gonna be fucking sick. But I guess we can preview the series. The Jays are facing literally the two best pitchers on the team, which is kind of bullshit. But the Jays have their two big dogs going. Manoah versus Nola tomorrow. Bryce Harper being back, by the way, is the most absurd shit I've ever seen. The guy got Tommy John in, I think, November, and he's playing in big league baseball games in April and May. The most ridiculous thing I've ever seen.
And he has to wait to put on his brace to run bases, right?
Yes.
And the MLB said they won't let it. One of your best players that you like profit off of, you won't let him put on a brace so he can stay healthy and play the game that you make money off of. Brain dead idiots. That's
wild.
It's the most absurd thing I've ever fucking seen.
I was thinking he was going to come back and struggle. Maybe he just hit a home run like second game. Pretty sure.
Yeah, and it wasn't just the homer. He got all of it. Oppo, the classic Bryce Harper Oppo bomb off the Red Sox. It was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. So tomorrow's game's weird for the betting people out there. The Phillies are favored -130 with Nola on the mound. Nola's been kind of ass this year, and so is Blake Wheeler. I keep saying Blake Wheeler. So is Zach Wheeler. I just don't know. I mean, Wheeler has a 4.26. Nola has a 4.64. This series has split written all over it. I don't know which game it's going to be, but it has split written all over it, right?
I'd agree with that.
I like that.
Like, I just don't know. It's just the most evenly matched two teams. I mean, the Phillies were kind of scuffling, 7-game losing streak, I think, coming into yesterday where they beat the Red Sox. It's just a weird. Let's look at the matchups here. Brandon Belt is 6 for 10 with a nuke and 2 RBIs off Aaron Nola.
Let's go, Brandon.
Is this a Brandon Belt bounce back tomorrow or what?
I mean, if you're not taking Brandon Belt bases,
Yeah, Brandon Belt base is the most free thing I've ever seen. So yeah, I mean, the Phillies haven't faced Manoah besides Harrison and Marsh. I think it's going to be like a weird, like a 3-2 or like a low scoring game here. I think that's what it's going to be. It's going to be, it might be a little bit cold in Philly coming back from an off day. I'm just excited to see Bryce Harper because last time the Jays faced the Phillies, he wasn't playing, right? In Toronto and then in Philly. So I'm pumped to see the GOAT, the fucking king.
Did you see who got
Eric Swanson just followed us on Twitter.
Did he?
Yes. What the fuck?
No.
Whoa.
Did he like anything or did he just follow us?
This might be an accident. Should I DM him live on?
DM him.
I'm going to DM him. Thanks for the follow, King. We are the biggest Eric Swanson guys on this planet.
As if.
I can't believe Eric Swanson just followed us live on air. That's the Gate 14. That's the Gate 14. I thought it was one of the fan accounts, but I looked at it and he's only following 330 and he has 6,300 followers. So Eric Swanson, sup?
6,300 followers?
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm actually shocked.
I hope you got
right
duped. I gotta see if this is.
No, it's not, dude. It's actually him because everyone follows him. Like all, like if
he's tweeted though. He tweeted about the Leafs.
No, this is Eric. Guys, let's not beat around the bush.
You're right. I don't think he got duped.
This is Eric Swanson.
He's not having a family photo.
Eric Swanson just followed us on Twitter mid podcast. That's what the fuck I'm talking about, man. Wow. That's the Gate 14 difference, folks. That's what that is. Holy shit! I don't even know what we're talking about.
Chicago Blackhawks picking first overall.
Yeah, but so back to the series here. Bryce Harper's hitting a home run against Manoah, right? You know it's going to be that dog shit slider.
I think Schwarber launches one.
Schwarber hit a moon bob on Sunday. Second deck off the Red Sox.
Left, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. Off the reliever. Do you think
he's not playing enough COD? That's his thing.
Yeah, I'll talk to him when I go visit next week. I can't wait for that. It's gonna be that picture is gonna be a banger. Me, Bryson, and Schwarber. That picture's gonna do numbies.
Make sure you wear your heels, man.
Yeah, no, I'll definitely look short. But yeah, I'm sorry, guys. My mind is just on Neptune. I can't believe Eric Swanson just followed us. So that's the most phantom thing I've ever fucking seen. So maybe this weekend. We'll see if he answers the DM. Maybe it was an accident follow. If it wasn't, that's all time. But anyway, so I'm going to say Gossman just absolutely carves the Phillies lineup, who's kind of struggling. They're actually, I know it's a guy that's been on my other podcast, Cody Clemens. He's a starter for the Philadelphia Phillies, which is crazy. Yeah, I think, they've been like mixing him in and out of their lineup. He's hitting like below 200, if I remember correctly. I can't believe that guy's an everyday big leaguer, which is crazy to me. I don't know if he's every day now with Bryce Harper back at DH, but Bohm's playing first. I think that lineup rules, though. I will say that Phillies lineup's fucking sick.
I love their pinstripes. I think they have better pinstripes.
Do you think the Phillies have the best alternate jerseys in baseball, the powder blues? Those jerseys rule. Those jerseys fucking rule.
But there's a lot of good baby blues out there now.
I think theirs is the best, though, because it has that nice little like what's that color? It's like reddish.
Maroon?
Maroon. Cards. I still think the Cards have better ones.
I think Cards have better ones too.
We'll see. I will let the people decide with that. But no, this might be one of my favorite weeks of the year. I mean, you got the Phillies and then the Braves back to back. Two teams that you just never really see the Toronto Blue Jays facing. Obviously, last year they did, but I'm excited to see it. And good friend of a good Johnny Junta guy starting for the Braves on Sunday, Bryce Elder. So don't know who I'll be cheering for at that aspect. I have a funny story about him. Someone remind me to bring it up on the next podcast of how I met him. But actually, fuck it, I'll tell it now. So I was playing COD with Bryson Stott's brother, and we were in the middle of this so we were just playing random quads, right? Because there was no duos. And there's these two guys talking baseball. Like they're talking about the Braves and like Shoemake and all that stuff, like AAA. And they say like they're talking about our buddy Nolan. And I was like, is this fucking Bryce Elder? And he's like, yeah, who is it? I was like, this is Nolan's buddy, Johnny. And then next thing you know, like he just followed me. We became boys. We met on a random matchmaking server on Call of Duty. And then we became boys after. It was the wildest thing I've ever seen. So yeah, he's pitching Sunday against, I think that's against Yusei. That's gonna be weird.
Corner happening or
You're
not?
gonna have so many connections that at one point you're just gonna be this point cheering for the other team.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Right?
So where do you guys stand? Is Kikuchi Corner a thing on Sunday? Should I do it? Should I show up to it?
I mean,
I don't want to make the fucking 1,000,000 Ks though, man.
I'm in Miami. I can't make it.
It'll be a game. We'll talk about this next podcast. We'll let the people decide. We'll talk about this next podcast. Lastly, a little bit of house cleaning here. Me and Avery will probably just based off of this. I think we've already got 100 down or 100 subscribers. Yep, 110 now. We've got 110 subscribers in an hour on the YouTube. If we hit 2,200 by Saturday, me and Avery will be going to a Jays game in full uniform. Avery hates it. I'm pumped for it. I'm excited. I think just having Jonah, the camera guy, follow us around in full uniform will be the funniest visual. And like people will be like, "Who are these absolute idiots?"
But the thing is, I don't own a Jays hat.
Me neither. I'm wearing a Gate 14 hat with the Jays jersey. I will go out on my way to buy pants this time, and a belt, and an arm sleeve.
When's it?
I'm definitely rocking stirrups to the game too.
You guys gotta dress as umpires one of these days.
God, that'll just be hell.
And then get tickets behind the plate. Do the old calling the strikes.
That would be funny. I think this vlog. So Avery, just so the listeners know, so they could buy tickets. Because let's be real, we're gonna hit 2,200 subscribers. That's like I don't know why I lowballed it like this.
You did that when we started this podcast.
Yes, I did do that with the full uniform game. What was I going to say? What day can you go to the game? Because they play Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
I have no idea yet. Not Monday. Can't go Monday.
Tuesday?
Might be. I'll see when practice is. Probably Tuesday's the best.
Okay, because that's when Jonah can record. So Tuesday will, as of right now, until we'll talk about next podcast, the Tuesday will be the full uniform game. So buy your tickets. We'll announce the section we're going to be in. I'm pumped for it. The vlog's going to be electric because me and Avery are going to be doing it together, and we'll have Jonah, the camera guy, following us around. So it'll be all time. But as always, man, hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. The band's back together.
Sorry for it being late. That was our fault.
How sweet it is. The boys are back. The gang is back, and we are firing on all cylinders. You love to fucking see it. Gate 14 forever. Love you guys. And let's have a week. Talk to you guys on Thursday.